Hello again and welcome back to another sketching video. Today I'm just going to be working on some rough sketches, and as you can see I pulled up some reference just to keep myself consistent with the style that I'm going for. I know it's been a few weeks since my last video, and I don't know why, but for some reason every time I try to say a specific day or time that I'm going to post, I suddenly get incredibly busy. So I think I'm just going to play it by ear from now on and not actually set it in stone, my actual days for posting. I mean, I'm still going to try to do it every week, but maybe we'll be a little more flexible. I don't know. Anyway, with the sketches, I will be focusing on the kitchen because that's where most of the cottage scenes take place. And as you can probably tell, this is a very rough stage of sketching. I really try hard not to put too much detail just yet and focus more on layout of where everything goes and loosely, trying to design things here and there. But like I said, nothing's set in stone. I'm just messing around, trying to figure out where to put everything, how everything's gonna fit. And even the finished product of sketching these out, even when I go into detail, the end result is actually just going to be a reference. I'm not actually illustrating the scenes yet for the Hansel and Gretel book. This is just designing what the actual backgrounds look like or what they could look like. And you might be wondering if, maybe it would just be easier to design the kitchen when I begin to illustrate the actual scene. But not necessarily. It's nice to spend some time designing and developing the environment beforehand. It just makes things easier overall when you start illustrating the actual scenes to have a reference for what the background should look like. It's kind of like designing a set for a play. And I know not everyone probably wants to spend the time working this detailed for every single part of the project, but I think it's worth it, especially if you have the time to do so. And if you're trying to build up your portfolio, it's nice to have a few, sketches to show yourself working through an idea or design and getting to that finished product. And that's what my goal is with this project. It's just to make really good portfolio pieces, but also show my process and how I work. For this sketch that I'm working on here, you'll see that I kind of got tired of this wall-to-wall layout to where everything feels like it's just closed off and in a corner. So what I did is I just cut out that wall and opened it up to look like you could see the other side of the house, where there's maybe a hallway, a staircase, maybe even a place to hang their coats. Just playing around, doing whatever. Sketching digitally is pretty awesome because you can just move things around and gives you a lot of freedom to make changes and experiment with your sketches. I'm just going to add some more cabinets here because it wouldn't be much of a kitchen if it just had a little stove area and some pots on a shelf. And these first three sketches that I just did are for Hansel and Gretel's cottage, and I'm going to do the witch's cottage right after this. So yeah, these are the three ones that I came up with. They're still subject to change, and I'm going to do another video where I go into more detail. Now that we're working on the witch's kitchen, there are a couple details that I have to incorporate to go along with the story. One of them being the oven/fireplace probably needs to be significantly bigger, just because in the story Gretel trips the witch into the fire. So it'll definitely need to be bigger than your average oven or fireplace, I guess. And then there's also like a room where she has Hansel locked up, and it's kind of all in the same sort of scene. So I kind of have to incorporate all those elements and also make it look like a kitchen. So here we have the fireplace, nice and big, maybe some jars and seasonings, I don't know, some spoons. I'm really not supposed to be going into too much detail, but sometimes I can't help it. I kind of need to save all that energy for the sketch that's actually going to be brought to final detail. Okay, this is the last sketch I'll work on today, and I'm just going to do another very large stove, oven, maybe a little stool you can sit at while you're cooking, table, maybe even a counter. And one thing I did wrong with this layout in particular was I kind of confined myself too much to the box that I'm working in, and I pushed all the elements up against each side, so it kind of looks very spread out, and it's not a very cohesive layout or design. So definitely don't copy this, or don't try to replicate this. It's not great. So yeah. For this back area, I think I want to do another wall where you kind of see into the other side of the house. Maybe there's a door to the front that you can see, and maybe a little chest. But yeah, everything's just too spread out. So I'm gonna try and fix that. Okay. So just transforming things. Again, it's great that we're doing this digitally because I can just make certain elements bigger or smaller. The staircase, maybe clean it up a bit. That's kind of the room where Hansel's gonna be hanging out. Make the foreground a little bit bigger. Maybe make the background a little smaller. Bring up the tower that Hansel's hanging out in. Kind of adjust it a bit. I think it might need to be a little bit bigger. And yeah, everything looks a little bit better, a little more together. I'm gonna add that cutout in the wall so you can see into the other room. And that's pretty much it. So my next video, I will be going into more detail with these interior sketches. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye.